You're so sad and chic, look rich, talking cheap on your telephone. Won't be coming home, he's my man. Yeah, he's my man. You don't understand.
We were definitely really inspired by all the old glam sounds, the way they kind of layered up lots of drum sounds and the way they used a lot of slap on vocals and things like that.
Finding something that's inspiring, and whatever that is, and latching onto it and running with it, and that could be a sound, or it could be a lyric, or it could be a melody, or it could be absolutely anything.
Ooh La La just seemed like a natural first single, really. And that's always happened so far, hasn't it? The first single seems to have always been a very easy one to choose.
Turn me up. Don't wanna bold ledges, glitter lust. Switch me on.
The video for Ooh La La was kind of inspired by sort of glam rock 70s TV. The imagery is just another follow-on of the music and expression. From looking at the website and meeting people, some of the fans and stuff, I think they really enjoy the whole imagery of what we do and the kind of dressing up and the whole sort of fantasy element. In the sort of 90s especially, I think there was that thing where you can't be a good musician and dress up. There was a bit of a sort of snobbery about that. I just think that's completely irrelevant, and you know, if your music stands up, then you shouldn't have to worry about that sort of thing.
It just means you're free to do whatever you want without worrying about what anybody thinks about you.
Yeah.
And pursue your own sort of dotty little furrow and plough it.
This is how we make our album. This is the kitchen of our studio. And we take a CD out of here and we put it in the microwave, like so. And then you put it on for, I don't know, probably about 60 minutes. Actually, no, for us, probably more like 40 minutes. Maybe, yeah, 10 tracks, put onto high. It's nice being in a house, just I think, just, you know, the house feels just much more relaxed, and, you know, and the funny chintzy objects we've got around, and probably in some weird sort of way inspire some of what you do.
It's quite a good place to get things done because it's quite sleepy, and you want to borrow a microphone from somebody, they're just down the road, or you want to, you know, get someone to fix something, they're just up the road.
There's a song on the album called Ride a White Horse. The idea, I guess, is about being in a kind of disco and meeting some guy who basically is pretty crap, has got loads of money, and the idea that this person might be able to sort of offer you kind of another world for an evening, and then the sort of sentiment of being on a white horse, the idea is sort of freedom and a high. dismount. All our music and imagery has related and been inspired by nature and disco and pagan stuff. So Supernature seemed like this sort of perfect title in many ways.
Drifting out of time. Something's on your mind. And I wanna be the one that you go when you get down.
Studio environments are not very creative places.
No.
Usually, there's usually some pressure of time or money or something. And actually now, partly because of the technology, you can just set it up anywhere.
Do you know how many jars of gherkins we'll get through since we've been making this album?
Gherkins, you imagine? Thank you.
We've never had a formula, we've never had a particular way of working. And I think right from the beginning it's just trying to keep ourselves entertained, really.
Sometimes I quite enjoy imagining I'm someone else when we're writing, but it's very much a two-way process of writing together.
And that's how it has to be, really. You know, somebody runs with an idea for a bit and then the other person sort of takes over when they run out of steam. A bit like Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, on the doorstep.
What, should we do some proper work now?
Yes, probably should. The trouble is we always talk and plan what we're going to do.
And then usually do the opposite.
Do the opposite. So whatever the list of things you've decided to do is, just read the opposite and that's what happens.
Racing through stars, you killed me while my smile synchronized for everyone tonight. My man, yeah, he's my man.
Satin Chic came along very late in the process. It's a sort of an anti-groove, really, Satin Chic. It just kind of has this jerky sort of rhythm. It just has a sort of ni-na chorus, which we really liked.
Yeah, that came just quite very naturally. But I think it's one of my favourites on the album. If my friend asked me what our album like, I think I'd say it was kind of trippy cheese.
Walk out into velvet, nothing more to say. You're my favorite.
We still feel like, God, there's tons of stuff to do. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't ever end and you're never satisfied. You're always kind of searching for something else in what you do and trying to take it somewhere else.
Sunset.